Welcome to Laptop Dojo, where the strikes come from the fist, not from copyright bots. I'm Shifu Pain, and last week we capped off our look at the cycle of spirits, yes, that's what we're calling it now, with the bear form. And while looking at empty-handed or hand-to-hand combat is essential, it's also essential to look at weapons forms as well. Not only to have more arrows in the proverbial quiver, but also to have more of an understanding of momentum and control. With this being said, we're going to take a look at the fundamental weapon of Shaolin Kung Fu with the bow staff. Let me qualify that while I'm calling it the bow staff, this is not the Chinese terming for it, this is from Japan. It's just that the bow staff is the more widely known naming of the weapon. In China, it's more often known as the staff, or the gun. You can probably understand why I'm not calling it that.
The origins of the staff's implementation in the Shaolin Temple and Chinese martial arts overall are something that has not a lot of reference, sadly. What we do know is why it is the fundamental weapon of Kung Fu. This is due to it perfectly summing the philosophy of the Shaolin Temple. Remember that the Shaolin disciples were Buddhist monks, so had a rule of do no harm, or pacifism, so they would only fight for defense, hence why the staff is the fundamental weapon. It can be used defensively, but will not explicitly maim or kill someone if struck, unlike a sword or a spear.
But before we take a look at any forms or techniques, we're going to start off by doing some basic spins, just to get more of an idea of control over the weapon before moving forward. Okay, so the first spin we're going to take a look at today is the basic spin. Now, for the basic spin, what we're doing is essentially guiding the staff across the whole circumference of the hand. So basically guiding it across the entire palm, okay? So first of all, we're going to be holding it in... Hello there. Hello. So first off, we're going to be holding it facing upwards, so facing up. We're going to be holding it in whichever hand we feel comfortable. So I say this instead of dominant hand because I'm right-handed and I prefer to hold it in my left hand. Okay, so from here, we're going to turn the hand all the way around until we have to stop there, okay? So then from here, we're going to come in with our other hand and catch the staff, okay? And bring it back around and then catch it again with the staff. Okay, so that complete turn. And again, we have that guiding across the hand. So this hand is essentially doing most of the work. This hand comes in to help it across the back of the hand. Okay, so if we practice this now, without the staff, okay, so the essential movement of it, like this, okay? So you see the essential movement is that guiding across this hand, so across that whole hand, and with this hand coming in as an aid and as a guide for the back of the hand, okay? Okay, so now let's just do that now. Again, so the staff here. So again. So as you can see, my left hand, the hand which is my dominant hand in the spin, is doing most of the work. The other hand's just coming in to just help it across the back of the hand, as you can see. Now as we speed it up. Okay, so now we're doing the forward spin. Now for the forward spin, we are definitely going to be holding it in our dominant hand. So our dominant hand is going to be doing most of the work. Okay, so with our other hand, what we're going to be using this one for is as a guide and as a safety, so that we maintain the spin and so that we maintain control over the staff, okay? With our dominant hand, we keep it at the bottom half of the staff, okay? Then, with our other hand, we keep it at the top of the staff, okay? So we keep it here, we barely keep a grip on it, we just barely have a grip on it because this hand is what's doing most of the work, okay? This one, again, is just here for safety. So now we go into the spin. So what we're going to do is arch the top of the staff downwards, like so. Okay, then we're going to twist and arch back this way. And if you think about it in terms of the visuals, it's much like rowing or like punting, okay? So we're going to be rowing this way, creating a figure eight motion. Okay, so, and as you can see again, barely having my grip on my left hand. The right hand is where it's doing most of the work. So now we're going to be starting to speed it up. Okay. Then as you get more confident, get more comfortable with it, then start to take that guiding hand away and just put your dominant hand, okay? Like this. When you do this, keep the guiding hand close to the body, okay? So this is for safety. Don't keep it like in your pocket or anything, because that's just going to... you're just going to hit your arm and then there'll be tears. Okay, so next up we have the reverse spin. Now, as the name implies, the reverse spin is the opposite to the forward spin.
No shit.
So like the forward spin, the grip is pretty much the same, with the dominant hand on the lower half of the staff, and on the top half of the staff we have the other hand with a very loose grip, okay, just to maintain that control and keep it as a guide, okay? So again, our dominant hand is doing all the work. So, we're going again in that figure 8 motion, like the forward spin, except this time we're going to start off with our dominant hand facing upwards, okay? So then, we're going to bring the lower half of the staff back, like so, bring it back around. So again, it's that same figure 8 motion, just reversed. Okay, very simple. So again, we speed it up. And again, when you feel comfortable, and take away that guiding hand and just work with this hand. Okay, just with your dominant hand, you go back into the spin. Okay, so next we have the underarm spin. Now the underarm spin is slightly more technical, but so it's got a couple more steps, but we'll go through it. Okay, so starting off, we have the staff underneath the arm of our dominant hand. Okay, so for me it's right-handed. If you're left-handed, it'll be under your left hand. Okay, so got on me our dominant hand here. Okay, having it close to the under of the arm, okay? Then we're going to have our guiding hand again, have it right here, so right at the underarm, okay? Okay, so then we're going to bring the staff down and around, have it point to the opposite side. Okay, so for me it's pointing to my left, so for you, if you're left-handed, it will be pointing to your right, okay? So then from there, we guide it around, have it pointing back to where it started. It's now pointing against my right. We turn, and so, then we go into a forward spin, and bring it back into the chamber of under the arm. So now we'll go through it again. So down, around, turn, forward, and back to the chamber. So again, start going into it a bit more now. And as you can see with my guiding hand, it's barely doing any of the work. I'm barely gripping the staff with my left hand. Next up, we have the double weave spin, and this is going to be our last spin for today. So we're going to start off again, similar to the underarm spin. We're going to start off with the staff underneath the arm. But the difference is that it's much more loose in terms of the grip. Okay, so we have our arm straight, the dominant arm, but we're still keeping our guiding hand closer to the underarm, and it is really snowing now. It's quite picturesque. So the best way to practice this spin that I found is to use some more visualization. So for this, we're going to be visualizing that as we're spinning, we're going to be striking an opponent that's in front of us. Okay, so if we go into it now, so we're going to start off with bringing the staff over and down. So we're hitting it here. The lower half of the staff, we're going to be hitting that person in front of us. Okay, then we bring the staff around, and then we're hitting again imaginary opponent in front of us with the other side of the staff. Then around, and then again we're hitting it, and it's back in the chamber. Okay, so we're going to be repeating that now. So we're going to bring it down, round, back again. Okay, so we'll go that again, down, up, and around. Okay, so now as we speed it up, And that is where we will leave it for today. Next time we're going to take a look at a bow style form to apply what we've learned with Yin Xiao Gun. Be sure to practice both spins and stances, and until then, thank you all for watching, and until next time, peace be with you.